Gloucestershire's one-day cup campaign began disappointingly with a six-wicket loss to Lancashire in Bristol. Put in on a drying pitch, the home team lost George Hankins for a duck to the 10th delivery of the match, the opener bang in front to Liam Hurt. Ben Charlesworth followed in the 5th, steering Tom Bailey to Stephen Croft at point. He gone for a dozen with his team on 15 for 2. Under gloomy skies, conditions were clearly not easy for batting, and both Tom Lace and Graham Van Buren found scoring difficult as they struggled in carrying the total to 30 for 2 at the end of the 10 overs of power play. Van Buren then went after Danny Lamb, whose first over cost 14 runs and included this pulled 6. Alas, that was pretty much the highlight of the day. Lamb removing Lace for 15 in his next over, a leading edge finding Jack Morley. Lamb struck twice more in his third over. First, he found Van Buren unable to get on top of the bounce as he cut to Croft after making 17. And then, 4 balls later, Jack Taylor played all around a straight delivery and was legged before for 4, leaving with his side on 63 for 5 from 16 overs. Gloucestershire gave a debut to 20-year-old Ben Wells, but he was out for 2, beaten by a delightful delivery from Morley. Morley was impressive and had figures of 2 for 7 after 4 overs after claiming a return catch to remove Tom Smith for 6. 30 overs in and the Gloucesters were on 91 for 7, and the only reason they were able to post anything decent was because of Matt Taylor, who got going with a maximum. Very well supported by George Scott, these two kept the visitors at bay for 16 overs in which they added 69 for the 8th wicket, Taylor producing the best innings of his List A career. Scott survived for nearly 2 hours in accumulating his 43. He finally out courtesy of a superb catch behind the stumps by George Lavelle. Lamb added a 5th wicket to his tally by bowling Josh Shaw for a couple. Gloucestershire now on 162 for 9. Gloucestershire were all out for 171. Daniel Worrell, the last to fall. The 48 overs of batting had really been a struggle. Gloucestershire therefore needed early wickets if they were to have any chance of defending, but 36 runs had been knocked off by the time Josh Bohannon cut Shaw to Scott. Then Luke Wells and Keaton Jennings showed all of their experience in taking the game away from their hosts by adding 47 runs for the 2nd wicket, conditions seemingly much better for batting than they had been first thing. Shaw struck for a 2nd time as Wells on 31 lofted him to Smith, but by now the target was down to 89 with 34 overs still remaining. It meant that Jennings and Rob Jones could take their time, and that they did, as only 2 boundaries were scored in the space of 17 overs. Shaw could certainly be happy with his day. In his 7th over, he had Jennings taken behind by Wells, a nice moment for the keeper. And then 4 balls later, Shaw bowled Jones behind his legs. Any hopes of a late fight back by the home team were then dashed by Croft, who went big off Shaw, whose 10 overs brought him figures of 4 for 36 in only his 2nd List A game. Croft finished the match off with another maximum, the target reached with 38 balls unused. In the end, it had all been rather too easy for Lancashire. They took the match by 6 wickets, and Gloucestershire will now hope for better fortunes when they return to Bristol for their next challenge, which is against Worcestershire on Tuesday.